ladies and gentlemen, mint conditions instruments.
They wanted the instruments more than you. Welcome back to the Bhavcast. Today I got a legend in the game. He's a comedian and the founder of Allah Made Me Funny. Please welcome Preacher Moss.
What's up, B?
How you doing?
Assalamu alaikum to you and all the Philly Muslims who are watching the podcast. Make sure you tune in.
Woo! Thank you, man.
This is the halal version.
Yeah, definitely.
Of the podcast.
I got rid of all the non-halal stuff.
This is funny. It's hilarious. You call me like, you want to move the alcohol? I'm like, you know what? I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You don't mind, brother? I appreciate that.
I got rid of all the alcohol, replaced it with water. You know
what's so funny? When we were doing All Made Me Funny back in we first started out, 2004. We sold the club owner. Mark, gosh, he ran Yuck Yucks Comedy Club, and we sold him on doing a show, not a night, but a whole week.
Oh wow!
It was unseen, untested, and he was doing it for. We got him to actually do the week. And here's the funny part: you're gonna die laughing. We got him not to serve alcohol.
Wow. And he was probably like shook. He was like, "What? Like, what? How do you want me to make my money and everything?"
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, how much you charge for Coke?" That I was like, "Charge $1 more."
Yeah.
I said, "They're gonna drink more Coke." He didn't understand culture. You know, it's like this Muslim culture. Like you see, like TV shows. And like, oh, that show's so popular. And I'm like, because Muslims don't watch TV by themselves. That's a family activity. When they come out to a club,
yeah,
it's a multiplier effect. So if a 15-year-old kid wants to go out and see the comedians, mom's got to come, dad's got to come. And then, you know, as they learn in the DC Improv, that's their night out. So they don't cook.
Right.
When they get there, it's, what do you have a menu? What's on the menu? It's like, so the DC Improv back in 2004 is hilarious. We did 2 nights, and they ran out of food the first night.
Wow, that's a good feeling.
Like the poor brother in the back, Romeo, is a cook. Somebody, we don't have no more food. Anything like locusts. Nothing here. They eat the glass, eat the chair.
Eat the chair. That's funny.
They're eating everything. And it was so funny. Like, we apologize for running out of food. Like, just... That's on you.
Yeah.
But I'm laughing with Romeo in the back. He's like, "That's the first time it happened." Like, yeah, that's all right, but
yeah, because usually people just be going to the clubs to just drink and laugh, and you know.
Yeah, get your 2 drink minimum. I'm like, dude, they're about food, man.
Yeah, they're hungry.
Yeah, I think it's my opening joke. I make people fast at all 30 days of Ramadan. Yay, and gain weight.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy to think about that like that.
Because it's like fast all day. It's like dude, you putting salt on curtains, and like, as soon as the sun goes down, got people saying stuff. You know what, man? I'm devoted. You know, I'm giving up cocaine for 30 days. Well, all right then. That's devotion. That's a couple other things, but
how was your Ramadan?
It was good. You know, it's I fast regularly.
Okay.
But this is the first Ramadan. I'm going through a divorce with sugar.
Oh yeah, bro. My family had a Dairy Queen, so I understand the pain with sugar.
Yeah, it was different. Breaking fast, and you didn't have your snacks. You had those snacks before you get your meal.
Yeah.
Snacks afterwards. I'm like, oh. I was like, "Where's my Pure Leaf?" And it was all pure. And the Pure Leaf I had was like green tea. You know what I'm saying? Unsweet.
Oh.
I'm like, come on, man. And the funny part, your blood sugar is like lower than low, so you eat a sandwich. It's like,
yeah, right.
Wake up inside your meal. I'm like, it's not healthy.
So
I think that was a part, but it was good, man. I think, you know, overall, it went really quickly. So, you know, when it goes quick like that, you get like almost like these almost like halal New Year's resolution.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Take the 30 days to keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah. You get this weird type of confidence. You can do anything now.
I'm like, no, you can't. Like, nah. But I think that's the thing, and it just went so quickly. But I think for this year, with everything that's going on, the current events, a lot of people were really trying to lock into the spiritual nature of themselves.
Right.
For one, and how do you balance what you're seeing in the world? Spiritual, which is a big deal. It's a very big deal in all religions, but definitely with Ramadan, it's a lot of people like, I needed Ramadan.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get away from, let me put the phone down, let me cut the TV off, let me reconnect.
Right. Spend time with the family and shit.
I mean, the narrative is there, Ramadan, Satan is locked up for 30 days, you work on yourself. And I'm like, I remember when I first heard that. I was a new Muslim. I was like, damn. Satan got locked up. I'm like, man, what's his bail gonna be?
Yeah, right. Oh God.
Hey, who's gonna call? Bail him out. But anyway, hello. Hey man, what's up? It's Shay. Shay who? Shay. Oh, Satan. Man, I told you not to call him. My wife is here. They'll call him tomorrow. God got me locked up. What?
Yeah, dude, that's the worst friend to get a call from.
Yeah, Shay who? Because black people love nicknames.
Yeah, right.
Man, Shay called me. Shay. Satan, baby. Sound all 70 Huggy Bears. Satan, baby. Satan's locked up, baby.
You gotta like change his picture on your phone so no one sees who's really calling, kind of
unnamed, unloved, unrepentant.
That's crazy.
Rejected one. There you go.
So what is like your favorite snack then? Like since you said you're a big snacker, like what are you like a sweet tooth guy, ice cream guy, chocolate guy?
So I'm in rehab for Reese's Big Cups.
Oh yeah, Reese's are good.
Yeah, but then it's like you go off of them for like a month.
And
then when you get one, it's like, you lose your taste. And I'm like, that was the worst thing for me. So you have to start with new snacks.
Yeah.
Start a new habit, new snack habit. So I found these lemon cupcakes.
Lemon cupcakes, yeah.
I'm like, sorry, Reese's Big Cups. You have been replaced. But I like my fruit and stuff like that. And I run. I'm older now. I'm older, but I still get up and run, get my
that's 4 or
great. 5
5
miles in, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
I'm a big fitness advocate, so that's beautiful. I love to hear that.
Yeah, so I get it in and come home, whatever I'm doing in terms of breakfast and stuff like that. When you get older, you're gonna spend a lot of money on Uber Eats. You just don't have a ton of people in the house.
Right.
Whatever. Hey mom, what you want to eat? I'm ordering it. I'm not cooking nothing. The stove is cold, brother. Got cobwebs. Cobwebs look like heat coils. So yeah, that's what it is. It's like I don't feel like it's almost like I got money. I don't feel like.
Yeah, right.
I ain't standing over the stove, and let someone else stand over.
Right.
So that's kind of what I adopted.
I love that. You ever have
try to get better.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, trying to get better, but I eat a lot of salads.
When I was a vegetarian for the first 20 years of my life, and I hated salads. And then finally, when I started eating meat, I was like, all right, I can appreciate a good old fashioned salad.
20 years. I did it for 5 years, and it was a fluke. I got really ill.
Yeah.
Food poisoning, and so when it resolved itself, I didn't have a taste for chicken, fish. Didn't eat beef anyway. It's like you lost taste. So you're like, it was crazy,
right?
And it wasn't like now,
right.
Hey, veggie, you didn't have veggie menu, a veggie burger.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
In fact, most of the people who were vegetarian back then, they look really unhealthy. Like you need to sleep with a steak. You look horrible. Just rub it over your face. I'm a vegetarian. Oh my God, that's what I'm gonna look like.
Right.
Yeah, you couldn't even say in a black neighborhood, I'm a vegetarian. You get some penicillin for that. It's a vegetarian and venereal disease.
And then also get a wedgie on the way out. Just get bullied.
Like, the funniest one I ever heard. I'm a vegetarian. That's what happened. You mess with the white girls. I was avoiding that to mess with white girls. Gone over that white college. Now I got white girl disease. The boy don't like meat. He grew up on meat.
Yeah.
See it laughing like, well, how do we get here?
No, white girls will get you like veganism, like vegetarian. Like a lot of Hindus are vegetarian because of like just like Hinduism,
Yeah.
but like the white girls will get you extreme on veganism, and I don't like that because I like my milk products. I like eggs.
I was the worst vegetarian. I'm like, cheese good, eggs good.
That is vegetarian.
I'm like, I'm not doing the meat. I'm not doing the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing the fish. But I'm gonna eat this up.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
But I was that dude. Even when you get it back, But I had stopped eating beef for a long time, just for health reasons. My father's side of the family have a really tragic history of fatal heart attacks.
Okay.
And so, black people, back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to eat what I want.
Yeah.
If I bought a steak, I'm going to eat a steak. So they didn't have anything about cholesterol and things like that. We didn't go to, there were no urgent cares, bro.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't go for checkups.
Yeah.
You went to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Exactly. I feel that.
The time you felt worse, that was the last time you're going to feel worse.
The only time I go to the doctor now is like, to get contacts because I need to see, and the dentist because, I got like my smile is the only thing good about me. But I won't go for anything else. Unless my foot is falling off, you won't catch me going to the doctor.
Well, that was it. Back in the old days, man, I'm dating myself. Back in the old days when you had to go to the hospital, like welfare, like there were tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would take a ticket.
Oh, okay.
So, little Jimmy's sick. Now, how sick are you? Is it one ticket or two tickets? If it's two tickets, you ain't gonna make it.
Right.
One ticket, one.
That's crazy.
Take that ticket and get on going. That was the way it was, and just the healthcare, really, the pensive attitude and the apprehension.
Mm-hmm.
But American healthcare in the black community is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
You just have so many things that black people are guinea pigs. So it's like, man, there was we don't want to go to the hospital. And the other thing is like, if something's wrong, I don't want to know about it.
Right. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
They're like, yo, you got 3 months to live. You could have told me in 6 months.
Right. Could have told me when after I was in the grave, son.
You could have told me in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm making it 6 months. It's a surprise for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's like low blood sugar. You're gonna die in 3 weeks. Man.
Let
me just get it over now.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to Fred Sanford instead. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. But it feels like I'm coming to join you.
It's like a roller coaster.
It's like, and they're gonna pick me up. They'll pick me up from urgent care. I got 2 tickets.
It's like funny you say that because my sister was recently doing yoga and she broke her finger, which I don't exactly know how that happens because yoga's it's like the most peaceful thing. She really screwed up. And then like my dad, he's like 63 or something, and he goes to the hospital and he sees like her finger and he just puts it right back into place, and the whole emergency room starts cheering. They're like, "Oh my God, she's getting out of here!" And like, my dad he's not gonna stay there for a broken finger. He's got things to do.
Yeah, if you break anything else, no, get your coat.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't really do anything about these things, like unless it's like really like the whole finger is like splintered and you need surgery. If it just popped out, you got to pop it back in and move on.
Yeah,
you got to keep it moving.
Like guys, I don't know. I remember you get hit by a train and be like, "You all right? You all right? What? You got a leg, you got 2 arms and 1 leg. You got 3 out of 4.
Yeah. Everything's still functioning. What's the worst injury you've ever had in your life?
Oh man, knee injury. It was actually just recently.
But you're lucky then because it's recently.
I'm playing pickleball.
Oh, dude, people are really into this pickleball nonsense.
Playing pickleball, and normally it's like it's a friendly game, competition. You got older folks, and so this particular day, I'm like, you know, you pick up partners. You don't know if somebody's good or bad. Right. Play, you know, because it's you know, it's social.
Yeah, of course.
So I got a lady on my team. She's not that good.
Okay.
And the guy over there, the black guy with a bald head, and his partner's pretty good. So, you know, we lose. And you go up and you touch paddles to say, hey, good game. You know, sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And I go to give him my paddle, and I say, good game. He goes, I can't hear you.
Oh.
Like, oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You want to play again? Yeah, I want to play again. So we lose again. He goes, you're just a glutton for punishment. I can't hear you.
Oh, God.
So now I'm sitting there in the pickleball place steaming. I'm hiding in fish grease, man. Like, this dude has taken out all the... So my brother walks in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could tell it's bad. I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, bring your... I'm like, bring your... We're going to play now.
Right.
And totally out of character. Because you pissed me off now. And now it's competition. So the first game we win.
Right.
And I literally go, he goes like, you know, good game. And I go, I do my like, say my name. Say my name.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what's going on? And then we played another one because he was like, best 2 out of 3. So in this one play, I went to pick up a shot of backhand.
Yeah.
Planted my knee. And it just sounded like somebody ran over a couple of bags of potato chips with a truck.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, you know how it is when you're hurt? You think of somebody else, like, oh, what was that noise?
Yeah.
It's all in my knee. And I'm feeling the pops. And I'm like, oh, it's like, bing, 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 bing. I'm like, oh, my goodness. And so I would finish the game, and I remember going to the mosque. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to pray on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to sit in the chair like the old dudes. I'm like, what's old dude? They're like, yeah, it's not funny now, is it? I'm like, no, sir. Because you make jokes about, oh, it's a jury.
Yeah.
It's a Muslim jury. What's up? I'm innocent. You know, so yeah, my knee basically had wrecked my meniscus from the back, and then I had a linear tear across the front, and it was bad. I remember I had gigs to do. So you're trying to walk with this.
Yeah.
You're like a crippled Chrysler because you can't walk even.
Right.
And I had a full slate of gigs. I had to go to Minnesota, I had to go to Chicago, flying.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit. I mean, I'm literally doing shows with my brace on me.
Right. Do me a favor, and can you just, this is our Amazon mic, so can you just like speak into it a little bit more?
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. So yeah, you're going around and just crippling all over the country.
Yeah, I was basically crippled all over the country. I did a tour limping. It should be the Preacher Miles Limp Tour. And yeah, and then I saw a doctor, and they were like, okay, so we're going to do surgery. I'm like, whoa. And given my options, I was like, you know what? I'd rather do a long rehab than you guys go in and cut on my knee.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
So that was October, and I literally got back to kind of being okay in February. So October, November, December, January, February. So 5-month rehab. Which is pretty much what it would have been if I let them do surgery.
Yeah. You don't really want them to cut into you. I have like a really, I've got like a pretty bad degenerative disc in my lower back. And like, you know, now I'm just like for the rest of my life, it's either doing spinal decompression or I got to find a CEO and shoot him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
You know, that's my only options.
Well, you know what? I think that's the thing is like, man, to me, when they say they're going to do surgery, I'm like, well, that's 2 surgeries. Well, there's a surgery to correct the problem, and then basically there's an extra healing process, one for the actual injury and one for the surgery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Because I've been around people. I've been around professional athletes that have to do, they've had to do rehab and things like that. And I'm like, I'm not for that.
Nah.
You know, I will rehab and things like that, but It just means you're gonna have to stay off of it for a while,
Right.
and kind of deal with those consequences.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty much what I decided to do.
Mhm. And if they fuck it up, like it's even worse, you know. Like then if they make some type of like mistake in there, and then you're really screwed because you signed the papers and you're like, I signed up for this.
But I think the thing is, once you damage it, it's damage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, if you're younger, and you know there's young tissue there, yeah, you bounce back. Be like me, man. I'm like, it just, you know, forget surgery. Just cut the leg off.
Yeah,
That's pretty much where I am. I'm limping already. Why not? You know.
Yeah. I'm waiting until they can just give me a new lower body.
Like my fan, give me the prosthetic with the shoe and the stripper pole.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My uncle had one of those. He's like, he cried. He's like, oh, I got a shoe with a sock and the leg look like a stripper pole. I'm like, Uncle, please don't ever say that around me again. I'm a comedian. That was funny.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, like a stripper pole. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's a mighty small stripper.
Yeah, that is. It's like a Smurf stripper.
I know.
It's a Smurfer.
I was laughing. I was like, yeah, that's like one twirl. Wee, one spin.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but yeah. That was one of my worst injuries.
All right, so not bad, and you got that towards the end of your you're older in life, so it's like not.
I was fortunate.
Yeah,
I was fortunate, but dude, you get this age, people strain their back on coughing.
Oh, yeah,
God,
yeah.
I'm like, how's that? I used to laugh. Didn't happen to you. It's like you sneeze, you go blind one eye. Where's everybody? Oh God, where's?
Yeah. I'm entering this age now. Like if I sleep wrong, then I'll wake up with like a tweak in my neck, and like for the whole day, I can't turn left or right. Like it's
Well, I think that's real though.
Yeah, it's real pain.
Hey man, it's real. It's when you get older. I was running. I was telling my brother I was running this morning. And it was dark, and you got to lift your feet up when you run.
Yeah.
So I caught a stray, fell over, and this is how it happens when you fall down. You're older. It's like, then you roll over on your back, and then you sit there and wait to see if anything's broken.
Yep.
And then you roll back over and get up.
Yep.
You look around, and hope nobody saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's the turtle method.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll on my back.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if I broke anything. I'm good. Let me get up.
Yeah, exactly. I skateboard, so like sometimes like when I was young and you'd fall down, you pop right back up because of like embarrassment and shit.
That when you get older.
Now, yeah, like now I'll have to lay there for a minute, take a beater 5, and I'm like, all right, now we can get back.
You got to do the assessment. My finger's still here.
Any blood anywhere?
Yeah, exactly. My hands.
Yeah.
Any scuffs?
No, I totally get that.
Ah, man, we did skateboards, man. We were about it, man. No helmets, no knee pads.
Yep.
Guys doing handstands, rolling right into parked cars. Hey, bam! The kids were mean. Nobody ever said, "Watch out!
Yeah.
There's a car." We're like, "This gonna be."
That's why like skateboard culture is like so cool. Like skateboard, snowboarding, surfing. It's like a different type of vibe, and it's like so real. It's like you gotta learn out there. No one's gonna help you. Like life's gonna help you learn.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna learn.
Yeah.
You are definitely gonna learn. But I think the thing is, it's just changed.
Mm-hmm.
I was with a friend of mine. I'm like, our parents are like the last. Our parents are like the last group of parents.
Yeah.
Adults who grew up not able to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't able to vote. It's like, we take it for granted. I can vote. I'm not going to vote. I'm a protester. I'm like,
right.
You better shut up and vote, fool.
Yeah.
Just things like that. I laughed when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably one of the last group of kids that had to deal with busing. Like, in the city busing.
Right.
In the worst part of it, but I didn't ride the bus anyway. I lived in the neighborhood where all the white kids thought, when they saw me walking, they were like, the black kid missed the bus. So it was a funny time. They jumped me one time, like these 3 white kids jumped me. And I got my father passed in 22. Classic black man. I got jumped by these 3 white kids. You know, you throw one off, they take off running. They were chasing me. I ditch them. I get to my house. My dad's home. Daddy, hey, what's going on with you, boy? Hey, my dad. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
These white boys jumped me. Like, what? I'm like, these white boys jumped me. They did, yeah. How many of them was it? I'm like, it was 3. He's like, only 3. You're gonna have to go back and represent for your race, boy. I raised you better than that.
Yep.
They don't teach a division of it. It's like you divided by 1 is 1. Get them 1 at a time.
Right, yeah.
Lunch, bam. Recess, bam.
Yeah, break them apart.
Hey, after this, bam. There you go. And tell the other 2 I got you.
That's crazy.
I was like, boy, you don't know about the get back.
Mm-hmm.
No, huh? The get back. That's like, I'm gonna get you back.
Revenge is a cold lady.
Oh man, that's fun. Only 3.
that is.
You're gonna have to go back.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, like, when did you get into comedy, and why did you get into comedy?
I wanted to be a comedian when I was 16. Eddie Murphy had broke. You know, he was on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Delirious was about to come out afterwards, but he was blowing up on SNL. And kids used to say, "Oh, you have so you guys kind of have a little look, a similar look, or whatever." I'm like, "No, I don't." Because girls like, "He's ugly." I'm like,
right.
"I don't look at him." Fix your face. But I love comedians like Richard Pryor, Red Fox. Old school dudes, Mantan Moreland, Nipsey Russell, Timmy Rogers, LaWanda Page, Moms Mabley. You guys might have to look up all these people I'm telling you. Wild Man Steve, Bill Cosby, Godfrey Cambridge. So he had all his comedians for the 60s.
Right.
So I was privy to do comedians from the 60s. And they really informed what I did in the 70s. So essentially, my comedy was social comedy. It's social commentary. It still is very much.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoy because, like, I love the communication. I love the art. And it really gets twisted because it gets overtaken because I wanted to be a jazz musician more than I wanted to be a comedian.
Right.
And so, you know, I got into music. I started out on violin. My dad was like, "You don't have to give up that violin because if you continue, you're gonna get beat up a lot." So
that might be gay.
yeah. Well, that was in the 70s. So
right.
You play the violin. Yeah, you might wind up wearing a dress. That's why. That's why he plays wonderfully.
You gotta like play the cello or something.
Yeah,
that's more of a masculine.
Play the bass. Yeah, this right here ain't working.
Exactly.
My dad was like, "Yeah," but I was like, "You know, my dad, I don't know no Negroes playing violin." I'm like, "It's Noah Pointer. I don't know no Noah Pointer. He don't know you either." So I got switched over to saxophone. But I loved the whole idea, and I was a big fan of Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son was a huge event back in '72 when it came out. We loved Sanford. The family would get around and watch Sanford and Son. So all the Norman Lear shows, Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, Good Times, those are all his shows. All in the Family, Maude, they were all his shows. So he was one of the first people to put black people on TV. And Red Fox was just hilarious to me. Plus, Red Fox was a nightclub comedian. You know, he was supposed to be like the X-rated comedian. So we would listen to some of his stuff we weren't supposed to.
Right.
You know, it's just, he had a way with telling a story. Excellent storyteller. And the thing what I found out later was, you know, he's a jazz singer. I'm like, jazz singers are always going to be able to tell that narrative a certain way. So he's a jazz singer, and that made me more endeared to him. Richard Pryor, of course, Flip Wilson, people like that, Marshall Warfield, Franklin Ajay. These are just all the people I really, really enjoy.
Right. So did you ever pick up a saxophone?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I used to play it in my set.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I used to call myself the jazz comedian back in the day.
Okay.
I would come out and tell jokes, that play.
Oh, that's sexy.
Nothing too crazy because you don't want to get stuck trying to play something.
Right.
I just found some video footage of a one man show I did at a comedy club in Milwaukee. And one of the characters I play is a jazz musician who was waiting for his son to come home because his son has his fix.
Okay.
So, he's a musician, but he's waiting for his son to bring the dope home.
Right.
So it's this conversation of do as I do, don't do as I say, that type of thing. But it's an interesting piece. But at the beginning, to start it off, I am playing saxophone.
Oh, that's
I'm playing Footprints by Wayne Shorter.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never.
Yeah,
heard
it's
it,
beautiful. So it was like that, and the funny part, I was just telling to somebody, I was like, man, I got so frustrated when I was young playing the saxophone because you wanted to play like all your heroes. You want to sound like Charlie Bird Parker. You want to sound like Coltrane and Sonny Rollins and Coleman Hawkins. What you didn't do, and this happens a lot in comedy, is that you don't respect the process of what people did to get to those spots.
Right.
Because so much stuff now is social media and things like that.
You don't get to see you don't get to see the process or how they built up and like all the.
Well,
years
everything was local.
Yeah.
You would start local. Back when I was doing stand up, you start local, you move to regional, and you pick a side of the country that you're gonna work on. So, say you were in Milwaukee. I was in Milwaukee when I was in college, and I went back to Milwaukee to teach. So I was in Milwaukee. I worked the Milwaukee local market. Regional was Chicago, Madison, Indianapolis, Detroit, maybe Cleveland, Minneapolis.
Okay.
Madison. So that was the regional thing. And once you were getting bookings in that area, then once you got a certain amount of gravitas, or you knew what the process was, then you pack up. It's like, I'm either going to go to New York or I'm going to go to California.
Right.
And I went west.
Oh, you went out to Cali.
Well, yeah, I was inspired. I want to say inspired, but I was really, I had somebody really motivating me to go out to Cali. So I wound up going out to Cali. And that was with George Lopez. George Lopez really.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he advocated for me to go out to Cali. So, classic story, in case you guys ever have this happen, get out to Cali. I told him my truck getting out there. It's like, oh my gosh. It was like all these crazy stories. I told him my truck in the middle of 70 in Colorado. It's in this, it's upside down. You got to pick up all your earthly possessions that are value. You got to, put them and you hold on to your stuff in the tow truck.
Right.
And, I'm like, now I got no money.
Right.
I was going to do this gig at this Fresno's place called Screwballs. A guy named Ray Appleby or Ray Appleton or something like that. Any event, I get there and the gig is double booked. So it's the headline, it's a 2-man show.
Right.
So Ray forgot he'd booked me.
Oh no.
And I'm like, dude, I need this money.
Yeah.
Like, I just totaled my truck trying to get here, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I only have the budget for da. There's a comedian who was headlining. He was on a show called Full House back in the day. A guy named Dave Coulier. He didn't play the character of Joey. He used to do impressions on Full House. And Dave Coulier is like, you know what? Don't worry. So he's like, I'll pay for him to stay. And that actually helped me get back down to California and have some money to do things, get established, find a job, find a place. It was like, yo, and shout out to Dave Coulier. He's battling cancer. So I'm like, it was like that act of kindness. Actually, like, it carried over. I'm like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a rented car. That was back in the day when they didn't like take, $500 a deposit, security deposit on your car.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd be like, how much is it? And then you call, it's $50, $51. Then you call your credit card company to make a payment for $52. Comedy credit. Next. But that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. You go through all this stuff. Guess what happens, man?
What?
You call Lopez's number. It's like, doo-doo-doo, the number you called.
Oh.
So you go back to what you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to grind it out in these open mics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grind it out in open mics. And it's like a very, very dedicated process of going on all these open mics.
Of course.
Because you got to get the lay of the land and nomenclature, who has what room, all of it. And it hasn't changed much. So you're doing all of that. And I'm at the Laugh Factory doing I got a call back to do a showcase for the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever go out to the Laugh Factory, people, and you don't call, they have a open mic thing. And they take the first 20 acts that line up. It's a culture in and of itself. I got there at 4 a.m.
Right.
I was guy number 9. They started lining up at like 4:15 in the morning, and you stay there till like
8 or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Until showtime.
I mean, they have a whole thing like
fuck. That's
people
crazy.
that hold your spot. Where you go, get to use the restroom. Okay, don't we go? You got 15 minutes to go use the restroom. You got half hour for. It was like, yo, they developed their own culture of being on this line.
That's wild.
And you had 3 minutes. You had 3 minutes, and I'm like, Lopez was like, don't even do that. I'll call Jimmy Masada, and that I'm like, no, don't do that because I want to get it honest.
Yeah.
I want to get it honest
On your own accord.
And at the Laugh Factory, I did that, and it wasn't shortly thereafter I got I did a set, and I was dealing with some comedians. All the comedians call you because none of them had cars.
Right.
Right. And you didn't have cell phones. I'm going to pick you up. So it's like, yo, okay, cool. The funny part was I was having a long day. I was teaching. I'm thinking I had to drop all these comedians off. I'm not going to get home until like 12. It's not going to be any parking around my apartment.
Right.
So the guy's like, no, there's a dude wants to talk to you. I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to get out of here. I got to drop your bum off. Hey, you bums off, all of this. So the guy that wanted to talk to me turned out to be Damian Wayans.
Oh, no way. That's sick.
So I've been in Hollywood not even a year, and I got picked up to write by Damian Wayans.
That's amazing.
And it was weird writing with him. He's a cool dude, very knowledgeable, but he was going through a transition. He was going through a divorce. So, your attention is a bunch of different ways.
Yeah,
my marriage, my kids, and then trying to do business. And he had two sitcoms, 2 TV shows that were on at the same time. He produced both of them. I think Damon, and then a show something Hope Street, and both of them canceled at the same time. So Chris Rock had just come out with Bring the Pain.
Right.
So a lot of black comics like, I can go hard like Chris. I'm like, he just did it. Why replicate it? So he hired me, and we worked for a while. And he gave me a shot, man. He gave me a shot. For a long time, I felt kind of harbored a, kind of blah, blah feeling about it because I felt like, yo, man, you didn't really do what you said you're going to do and da-da-da. And I felt like maybe he played me da-da. And it was like one day I just woke up. I was like, dude gave me a hell of a shot, man.
Right. And
I'm like, the problem was not him. It's like everybody who was around me, they wanted my position.
Yeah.
Hey, can you talk to him for that? Nobody's going to be careful. Hey, can you talk to him for me? I'm like, yo, you want it? And I remember I set a brother up to talk with him. And he was like, yeah, he wants me to write this film. But Damon Wayans was like, yeah, but I want you to write it with him. And I'm like, the problem with him is it was him, my friend.
Yeah.
I was like, he gave me opportunity, but you're trying to do something different. And that was a Hollywood lesson. Stay true to yourself. Do your research.
Exactly.
Do your research, especially when you're working for people. Because character, reputation means so much in Hollywood, but at the same time, they don't mean anything.
Right.
At the same time, they don't mean anything.
Wait, what do you mean on that exactly? Because I feel like, I just try to, be a good person, all that.
I know. I'm just saying in Hollywood.
Oh, okay, in Hollywood, yeah.
No, outside Hollywood, yeah, because Hollywood is always characters.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's acting, acting a certain way, acting. I'm like, yeah. So it's almost like madness. Just think about it. Some of the great actors of our time that make millions of dollars. Why do they make millions of dollars? Because they're highly proficient in getting you to believe that there's somebody else.
Right. That makes sense.
I love Denzel Washington in Glory. In Glory. Like, yeah, he played a slave in Glory, but he got a supporting. He got an Academy Award as best. No slaves are getting Academy Awards, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, he tied you up in that space. It's like, yeah, it's like real. Like, dude, it ain't real.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because the Denzel Washingtons, the Morgan Freemans, the Brad Pitts, a lot of those people. They come out of the theater.
Mm-hmm.
They come out of the theater. When they roll out of the theater, it's like, I'm going to TV, I'm going to film. For a lot of us, in our generation, like our parents and our grandparents, they're going to the movies was their TV.
Right.
You would watch newsreels and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Our movies, TV is our movies now.
Right.
It's on our phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we can do what we want to. I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole, 6 a.m, wake up the following 6 a.m, had not gone anywhere, not brushed your teeth, not taking a shower. Yeah. I binge watch. I'm like, do you know what you just did?
It's disgusting, actually.
You just waste your whole day. I have to catch myself. Mm-hmm. I'm currently watching episodes of Kojak because I couldn't watch it when I was a kid. Because my mom was like, on Kojak, all the black people look like pimps and hoes. I'm like, all right. Thank you, Mama, sir.
But now you're old enough to.
I was like, what's a hoe? That's what I'm saying. What's a pimp? That's what I'm saying. That's why you can't watch the show. Yeah, but I do like watching like Kojak and Sanford and Son because those were sound stages.
Right.
And the writing was interesting because, now you have A/B stories, right? So it's almost like if you don't like this story, you go over to this story. Mm-hmm. And it has something to do also with, commercials and things like that.
Sure.
Right. But back then you would watch a whole story. Mm-hmm. Like characters had to be funny. They had to fit in. They had to have dialogue, and that was your A story. A story is like, I'm going to take these two characters, B story, I'm going to take these two characters, split the difference. Like I still write, even in comedy, man, I still write a story format for my stand-up.
So can you explain that a little bit? Because that's like something new to me. Because I just write whatever happens to me.
Yeah, I do that, but it's like conceptually, I don't write it like a joke. Like I'm gonna give you a certain amount of details that are really, really pertinent to this thing.
Sure.
So that gives you the spine of the story of your joke, right? So it's 3 things. Maybe in a 4-minute piece, the 3 beats that you want to hit. This, and the quality of your detail is what builds out the story.
Okay.
It matches the story. Like when I was a stand-up, when I started stand-up, and you want to be a headliner. The rule to be a headliner is you had to get 3 laughs a minute. Okay. Like a minute, not 5 minutes.
Right.
Like, and that's why you saw comedians like bam, bam. If you ever watch Rodney Dangerfield, he's like bam, bam. He wasn't getting 3 laughs a minute. He was getting 10.
Yeah.
So, and then what you have to find out is when they said 3 laughs a minute, it wasn't 3 hard laughs a minute. Because I did it one time, thinking I get 3 hard laughs. 15 minutes into the set, a half-hour set, your audience is tired. Like, I got more. No, please.
We got enough.
Yeah, we asked it. And it was funny because the club owners were like, "Don't ever do that again." Now they're too tired to drink. They're too tired to drink, too tired to eat. So now your barber acts, your bartender ticked off like, "You costing us money."
Yeah.
but writing a good A story is it demands something from the audience. You know, because sometimes here's your spine and put something over here, something over here. The idea is at the end of the story, you're able to tie all of these things in.
So what are you looking for at the end? Like relief, or like what is the thing? I know they say misdirection, but like what
they
is?
They do talk about misdirection, but I grew up around jazz musicians,
Mm-hmm.
so I learned how to write stand up watching jazz musicians write music. So it wasn't the thing at the end, the closing joke. It wasn't that. It was the reconcile. I want to reconcile everything that you heard.
Oh, I see.
So if
Close all the loops.
Not hip hop music, but all the great R&B songs, R&B hits follow a format. My friend, his name is Nuri Amir. He wrote for Kool in the Gang.
Okay.
He said, and everything is really a simple formula, which is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out.
Mm-hmm.
Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out. Right? And I'm like, yeah, when you write it like that, it does sound like music.
Mm-hmm.
When I did my comedy special, I performed with jazz musicians, like live jazz musicians.
Yeah.
And they didn't just walk off. They were there. They, like I said, I wanted to be a jazz musician, but I had to write music. Like I could still write music.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to write music. We had to agree. Key G, let me hear that. Cool, da. And I had said, you guys are going to have to listen to the tonality of my voice to figure out where you want to come in.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So I'm like, this is total improv.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you when to come in. You're going to follow the tone of the joke. You're going to listen to my cadence. You're going to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we might break. And then it's like, the break is just to get us into another chord, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, that's what we did.
Is that special published anywhere?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was dedicated to John Coltrane. It was called Love Supreme and Anatomy of Gratitude.
That's like, that's like really like, that's fancy business. You have them there the whole time. You guys are doing it together. Like we
did an hour. All three of us got off the stage soaking wet.
Because of the energy you put in?
Yeah, to my bass player is like a world-class bass player.
Oh, I love that.
And Taurus is so cool. His name's Taurus Petit. He's so cool. Like, nothing phases him. Like, I went to see him in Orlando. We drove all the way over to Tampa, did a gig, came back. Hey, man, I want you to check out my new sound. And he gives me the CD, and I'm looking at him on the wall. I'm like, does that say 2016 Downbeat Bass Player of the Year? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, man, don't worry about that, man. So I'm doing my thing. I'm like, this is the dude that played in my band?
That's crazy.
And then my drummer, Leon Alexander Jr., I've known him since I was 4. His father was my music teacher. Shout out, Mr. Alexander. 92 years old, kicking strong. Leon was a senior officer of the U.S. Navy Jazz Band.
Wow.
He was a percussionist. And they played for Obama. They played for Hillary Clinton. They didn't really like playing for Trump. But you're in command of some of the greatest musicians in the world. And so he winds up playing in my comedy special a week after he retired. Wow. So this is his first out of the cage. Uh-huh. And when you see, it's like, yo, this band is like, they're ready to explode. And it's like just going out because the audience didn't know what was going on. Yeah. It was a cold. You see comedy shows, come to the stage. I'm like, that's not really the way comedy goes. Like, you walk on stage, they say your name, you walk on stage, and you work. Yeah. You work to garner the trust of that audience. Mm-hmm. There's a relationship that has to be established. It's not artificial because it's TV or da-da-da. There's a relationship that has to be established. Yeah. Oftentimes when you're doing gigs, you will look at the audience and go, I can't do that lead gig right now. Mm-hmm. They're not ready for that. I gotta move the music around. I gotta take this chord and put it over here, this chord put it over here. Because you also want the audience to have an experience too. Mm-hmm. I don't want to jam something down your throat that you're not necessarily ready for. That's how I feel. Like, because I am this Indian guy with this mullet. If I don't get you to like me first, then you're not really gonna care for anything that I say. Like, I need you to
feel like this is all authentic. So I really try to give it to them nicely up front.
No, you're right. I want to give you guys a cause for support. 2 causes of support. 1, cause for support for me. 2, I have a cause of support for you. That's why I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and if it balances out, they're gonna give you a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see some comedians turn on the audience. I'm like, dude, the problem is you.
Yeah, when they say like, "Oh, you guys don't like me" or anything, or like, "You guys are the problem," it's a bad audience. It's like I completely blame the comic.
I mean, we thrive in bad audiences. I've watched. This is a true story. It was a Black Student Leadership Conference at Kansas State in Manhattanville, Kansas, wherever Kansas State is. And so my idol, my mentor, Dick Gregory, was a keynote speaker. I literally gave up money to be on the show with him. That's how much I respect him. And so I went on stage, and it was all these leaders of Black student unions from Big 12.
Yeah.
Patience packed. Started out well. I said something about affirmative action that they didn't like. So you're not losing the room. I walked a few people. They go, "Oh, girl, leave." Don't leave then.
Yeah.
And I looked at Mr. Gregory. He's up next. I'm getting ready to bring him up. He smiles. He goes, "You didn't walk them. He said, you didn't walk the people out here. They walked themselves out." He said, "If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'll have a problem with you." I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he got up. He's an elderly man from all these young folks, and he destroyed him. There was no furniture left. I was like, "Clear out the furniture. This old man's finna kill you." And he did. And it was like they were so afraid not to like him and what he was saying. It was funny. They were petrified. But I'm like, he had total mastery of that space. And I'm like, there's so much to learn, because I didn't go, "Oh man, it's their fault. They this or that." They're there to see you. Your Rubik's Cube basically is, how do you find a meaningful way to communicate your ideas? Whether it's humor, whether it's lecturing, how do you get it done? Right. So I think that was a great lesson, man. I still laugh about that. It was funny to me.
Yeah.
It's not like when you get booed. You get booed or you get fired. Like, all right, when you get fired, people may not like your act, but the management definitely didn't like your act. Right. So the manager fired you. When you boo, everybody ain't gonna boo. Now sometimes everybody might come close to booing.
Yeah.
But booing is the thing to do.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory, especially when you're working Black Cubs.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory. You might get booed. But that's the fun. You might come back and be like, "We got booed last time."
Yeah.
Well, I was able to hang on the stage 10 minutes this time before you started booing.
Right. I had a lady one time. I was like one of my first open mics, or like my first showcases I did up in Northeast Philadelphia at this place called Comedy Cabaret in a Motel 6. And I was like so green, and I was like, I just being like a little douchebag. And this old lady stands up. She just goes, "Eh," literally gave me the buzzer. And I was like, damn. I was like, this hurts.
It's my hurt story. So in Milwaukee, they have this big series of festivals called Summerfest. So they have all these cultural festivals, or at least they used to. So Summerfest was the big one. They have like Polish Fest, they have Italian Fest, you have Afro Fest, have all these festivals.
Sure.
So I got a gig at Summerfest, and I was opening for this band called Mint Condition. Now keep in mind, I'm in my jazz phase. I'm playing jazz. I'm jazzy preaching, da 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 da. I'm doing good content, but it's like you really got to listen to it, because I used to write material. Watching jazz musicians write their music. That's how I learned. It's almost like music to me, and so I'm totally into my thing. Like I'm the shiznits, right? I'm thinking I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
It's gonna, Mint Condition. Hey, dude. At the time, Mint Condition had the #1 R&B song
Okay.
called "Breaking My Heart," Pretty Brown Eyes, and they were all musicians.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I know I'm in trouble. So they roll out the drums, and the women like, oh, they're like passing out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You passing out on percussion? Oh my god! And I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And I got 15 minutes to do. It's the #1 song in the city. People are coming out to see Mint Condition.
Yeah.
They're not coming out to see Preacher Mark.
No.
Dude, I died a death that was so bad. And this is what makes it worse. You know it's bad when people come up to the microphone, come up to the stage, you give them the mic. What do you want to say? And there was a rather rotund lady, and she gives me a card. I think it's Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, and she does Ray Charles. You got the right one, baby. So I said, I'm not gonna be up here much longer. Everybody goes, yeah.
Yes.
Like 4,000 people. Yeah. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, Mint Conditions instruments. Yeah.
They wanted the instruments more than you. That's
so
crazy.
I go off and I'm like, you guys ready? Yeah. So I come back and I introduce them. And that song has been a song I've hated all my life. Almost ended my comedy career.
I've always wanted to open for a band like that.
Well, you know what the funny part was? It's an R&B band. I do no homework. I'm not listening to R&B at that level. And that's my fault because I've been working with all these jazz bands. And jazz bands, when I wanted to be a comedian, I realized, #1, I was too young to work clubs.
Right.
So at 17, I got to wait 4 years to work the clubs. Only place I could work was like these little offshoot open mics. There's a place called the Wimpy Hunts Club. See how bad that sounds?
Yeah.
In Milwaukee in 1984, Wimpy Hunts Club and a couple other places, Papagayos, where you might be able to sneak in and do some time. And the place where I got played was at a place called the Jazz Estate. And it was cool because I could do stand-up on the jazz breaks. When the band would go off, I go and I do like 10, 15 minutes and go off. And then it worked out where I started opening for jazz musicians.
Oh, that's sick.
It didn't help with Mint Condition, though.
No.
Well, I kissed the baby on that one. I'm here to tell you.
4,000
yeah,
people
but
cheer.
it was like, but that style was interesting. It was funny. That writing style is, Damon Wayans dropped this gem on me. And he asked, the question, he's like, in this business, in this industry, do you want a job or you want a career? And I'm like, I want a career. He's like, good. If you want you want a job, keep running down there trying to tell jokes with them dudes down there. You want a career, know how to write. Learn how to write. And my degree was in broadcast journalism.
Okay.
So it was a cheat code for me. I knew how to write. Because journalism, people don't understand that to get a journalism writing degree, particularly back then, you had to know how to write for all the mediums. Radio, TV, magazine, marketing, advertising, PR. You had to be able to write all that stuff.
Sure.
Right? Newspaper. And people don't understand there's a different nuance when you're writing for newspaper, different nuance for TV, radio, lifestyle magazine. People didn't know. Like sometimes when you watch the Super Bowl, you watch a commercial somebody paid $10 million for, and you go, what is?
Yeah.
Because it's written in wrong tense. You thought it was written for TV. It's more like written for radio.
Okay.
So it doesn't connect. So yeah, man. He says if you want a job, learn how to write. And so I had like the cheat code of journalism.
Yeah.
And so what happened was I started making my bones in California as a writer. And I'll be able to sit in the club, watch somebody's act, break down the act. It's like, here's a tag. Because you can't use the tags. This is practice.
Right.
I would suggest young comedians who go watch other people's act and watch, tags. watch other people's act and go, I would have done this, I would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the tag because it's not going to fit your act
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was with Wayans for like a year, and then we stopped working together. Then I run into Lopez. He's like, "You're not working with Wayans?" He's like, "No, you can work with me." So I wound up working with George for about 6 years, writing and touring.
That's
for about
crazy.
6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, okay, it's almost time for you to get out of here. But like, I want to just know one thing. Like, you've traveled like all across the world, like the Middle East, Europe, Australia, doing all this comedy. What, like, when you go to these different places, different countries, do you cater your humor to the people, or how do you do that? Like, if you're going to Asia versus Europe, totally different groups of people, totally different humor. How do you make your humor assimilate to them? Like, what's the trick there, or like, or you just be yourself and they.
Well, I think the thing is you might want to show that you paid some attention to the culture.
Okay.
But it's not like, I'm pandering.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be pandering to you. Oh, look how you know the language. Like, I don't know the language. I'm not going to do a British accent. I'm not British. All I can do is a bad British accent.
Mm-hmm.
When they teach you Spanish, what they need to let you know is when you go around real Spanish people, you're just speaking really, really bad Spanish.
Yeah.
And the churros with chocolate, I'm like, that's Spanish from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Tijuana.
Right.
They got a whole different culture and how they do their Spanish. Me gusta hamburgueso.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get shot. Talking about you like hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different thing. And sometimes it's just appreciating the culture because it's an exchange.
Yeah.
And I think, something you kind of alluded to earlier, it's an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to learn something about me. I'm going to learn something about you. I'm going to learn something about you as a core group audience. You're going to learn something about me as somebody appealing to a core group audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And maybe I need to connect with these 3 people over here to connect to the other 25 over here. Maybe I need to look at you, but go over here and start talking about that.
Yeah.
Like comedians don't really understand sometimes your joke may or may not work based on how you block the joke.
Mm. What do you mean?
Like where you deliver the joke on stage. Are you looking at the inflection? Like we watch Chappelle or we watch Lopez or they are very deliberate about where they stop and deliver a joke.
Okay.
Like sometimes they're not gonna be moving around. They'll like Chris Rock used to drive us crazy because he paced the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that was his madness. I'm gonna pace you, so now your heart rate is up, waiting for what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
He's not gonna slow down. But he knows where to stop on stage to deliver the joke and it has the maximum effect.
I see what you're saying.
Look at the camera.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, even when I do shows, like I gotta know exactly, and it's part of it is you're trying to master those aspects of your act.
Right.
So you're trying to master those aspects of your act. So it is, can I pay attention to detail? I'm going to tell you about not just what I'm blocking, where the words are being said.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you listen to jazz music, good jazz music, great jazz music does not waste notes. I have a friend of mine, and he's working on a speech. I'm like, dude, you're putting in a lot of words. We need to get to the point.
Yeah.
You need to take out this, that. What? No, I'm like, dude, clarity is charity.
Mm.
And so when you start looking like that, there's an efficiency. Imagine if you're telling a joke and your back is to the audience.
Right.
You would sit there and go, this makes no, even if I'm telling a killer joke, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Unless it's part of the set, part of the skit.
Right.
I'm like, now if you turn your back to the audience, you realize that, your body position does have value.
I agree. Sometimes when I since I sometimes move a little bit on stage, sometimes I'll when I'm writing my act out, I'll be like, all right, you'll probably move here and here, but then you got to find center again.
Yeah.
That's when you deliver oh, somebody going to, whatever it is or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing a joke, you're yelling.
Yeah.
it's different when you're yelling this way as opposed to yelling that way.
Exactly.
Because this way makes it theatrical. It makes it visual. This way makes it just you're yelling.
Yeah.
And you make them look over here, like you're talking to man. Hey. They're looking. Who is that? You're turning, and I those nuances are very, very valuable. Even just public speaking. Not just stand up, but just in public speaking. And it's the idea that you're giving a much more robust presentation of yourself.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. No, that's like really like. Look, we could chop it up all night. You know what I mean about this stuff because
absolutely, I know we have to.
Yeah,
I know we've been talking it up.
Yeah,
but I'm on the gas, baby.
You got so much wisdom in that brain, and I just want to fucking.
I'm on the gas, baby. I'm getting it out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, Preacher, thanks for coming through. Tell the people where to find you in the top camera.
You got top camera. I don't know, man. You find me at all the fine spots, baby. I guess you can go to IG. I'm not. Look, I'm 58 years old. Don't follow me. I was like, don't follow me. You follow me? No, I ain't gonna follow you. Don't you follow me? You're gonna get hurt, old man. Yeah. I had that Pakistani brother. You follow me? I'm like, that ain't sound right.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm out there. You go to YouTube. I have a podcast show myself called Shout Out Show. You're more than welcome to come on.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Shout Out Show, we go Wednesdays, Eastern Time, 6 to 7, 6 to 6:30. But we're on every Wednesday. And we have some pretty interesting topics, guests. You can go, the last show was Trafficking Terrorists. We just did that Trafficking Tariffs. So we really...
Right. What's happening right now in the economy
really
and all
gave... I tried to give a really in-depth conversation about what an actual tariff does, how people are affected, and how it looks with executive orders and things like that.
Sure.
I'm like, I know we have all kind of strife in the Middle East with Gaza and things like that, Palestine. I'm like, this probably has deeper ramifications for the American. That Gaza and Palestine, that's political and very much emotional. Terrorist economy.
Yeah.
This is economic speakeasy, if you will. And if you don't know what it is, it's like you run the gambit of being lost and being subjected to things that we talked about. My mom and grandparents, they were the last group who couldn't vote.
Right.
This generation is going to be introduced as a generation that we didn't have economic wherewithal. We didn't have economic power.
Right.
And we didn't have a voice on our economy. Because you trust in a trade situation, we're dealing with terrorists. They are good things with terrorists, but you trust that the person at the front of the line that's leading you is making interest in the best, making deals in the best interest of the country. Is not that.
Right.
So,
no,
that's my politics for tonight, everybody. Tackling terrorists on the couch.
Love that. Well, thanks for coming through, Preacher. I will catch you later tonight at the show.
You. Yes, sir.
Of course.
Are you doing a set tonight?
No, I'm not. I'm just coming to support, hang out,
All right.
I love you, dog. So I'm like, I got to come through.
Peace.
Excellent. That was good.